Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Bill Harvey with the Auto Sales Academy and I hope you're having a fantastic day. My goodness, is the weather ever changing quickly in our neck of the woods? It is happening so fast. Winter is happening upon us. Gosh, I think on Monday I was riding my bicycle and today looking out at this crazy weather. I mean, it's to be expected in the northern 48. I know I always start off the sessions with a little bit about the weather and I'm really sorry about that if that is not your thing and you don't like that. But anyhow, welcome everybody to the Auto Sales Academy. This is our weekly live session where I share with you tactics and strategy for you to achieve double digits in your sales skills all the time and hit those 10s, 20s, and 30s every single month with predictable consistency, regardless of the region, regardless of your brand, and regardless of the economy. Yes, you can sell 30 units per month with predictable consistency. I'm not talking about doing it one time. Talking about doing it over and over and over again, because the secret, as I preface all of this with, and as you may have seen some of the emails that went out, and of course the posts reminding you of this session coming up, it's your goals. Your goals are probably what's holding you back from being able to sell and deliver 30 units per month. Yes, of course, the inventory shortages and the woes and limitations and our build and allocation and allotment and the strike slowed us down a little bit unquestionably, but there's the human eraser, right, where we start to erase everything that came before that. Here's the thing. When we set a goal, and I would say if you are right now trying desperately hard to break double digits, and maybe you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Maybe you're selling, or you have been selling for the past couple of months, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. That's not going to pay the bill. That is going to stress you out. And soon you're going to be looking on Indeed, Monster, and all the other, and LinkedIn, all the other opportunities. There must be a better life out there. There must be a better job out there. There isn't. Recognize one thing. There is nothing more exciting than buying an automobile, and that includes buying houses, the very home that you live in, that you think you're going to live in, and they're going to carry you out of there in a box. Second, an automobile is the second greatest financial decision that we make next to buying a house. So you can rest assured everyone that you are dealing with is a decision maker. That makes everyone that you talk to a buyer. So if you don't believe that every shopper is a buyer, you're going to have a very difficult time ever getting to 6 and 8. And that's not going to pay the bills. That's not going to make you happy. That's not going to put you on the leaderboard. That's not where you want to be. You may not want to lead the board every single month. You may not even want to be number one every single month, or ever for that matter, but you do want to have a comfortable, enjoyable life. So that's really what we're talking about here, is when we set those lofty goals of, I got to sell 10 this month, or I've got to sell 8 this month, or I've got to sell 15 or 20 or 25 or 30 or 35. If you have been adding up as the year is going around the units that you are not selling and delivering, and you keep stacking them on to the next month, then your goals are your problem. It's as plain and simple as that. Because you can't just simply pick a goal, 30 units per month, because I didn't sell 10 last month, and I didn't sell 10 the previous month, and I didn't sell 10 the previous month. Maybe you've been averaging 9. Maybe you want to sell 30 this month because your expectation of yourself is 20 every single month. And this is how far behind you are, that you need to sell 20 this month and another 10 to make up for a couple of other bad months. Here's the problem. You can't just arbitrarily grab that figure out of thin air and say, I got to sell 30. So let's go. Let's see what we can do, because that means you're waiting for the up bus to stop by in front of your dealership and unload a bunch of hungry, anxious shoppers. My apologies for that. Look, the up bus doesn't exist. It did. If you remember my story eons ago, look down at previous ones. Very quickly, the up bus did exist. I do know of one retailer in Canada, in fact, and in the province of Ontario, and I would peg him mid-Ontario, that in the 70s, he would advertise in Toronto, a large metropolitan area, that fantastic deals on a Sunday, he was not allowed to be open on Sundays. Back in those days, there were laws against opening on Sundays. If you met at this parking lot, got on his school bus, drove to his dealership, he would show you fantastic, amazing deals. And here's the thing, the bus disappeared. People had to find their own way back to their city, their neighborhood, their town, wherever they came from, if they didn't purchase an automobile. Well, those days don't exist. Advertising and being open Sundays and this magnificent opportunity and venue for us to come together and share our super fantastic deals in a very inexpensive capacity. If you're not on social and doing this, and doing not necessarily a walk around of your product, but just sharing with everybody why it is such a great idea to buy your product, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And that's why you're not achieving your goals. Because if all of a sudden one day, or you've just now heard my tactic, this is a neat idea to be able to sell 30 cars, go out and do a walk around on a vehicle. If you do that haphazardly and you don't plan that, then you're planning to fail. And that's the reason why I say there's nothing wrong with you. And that's absolutely true. There is nothing wrong with your job, your region, your product, the economy. Everything is wrong with your goals and how you're structured. So I'm beating around the bush, and I don't want to waste a whole lot of our time because I've got a great worksheet here. I want to show you how to do it because that's the most important thing. We can talk about goals and the importance of setting goals and the SMART acronym, making sure your goals are specific, that they are measurable, that they are actionable, that they are results driven and timely. SMART, S-M-A-R-T. That's a great idea. And I didn't come up with that acronym. I'd love to take the credit for it, but you've probably seen that or heard that before. And so I can't take that and coin that as my phrase and my idea, but it's magical. It's absolutely fantastic and it's absolutely correct. However, if we don't know what those specific measurable, if we don't know what we're measuring, and remember, you can't fix what you aren't measuring. If we don't know the actions to take in order to be able to sell 30 cars per month, this month of November, we're only, 8 days in, technically just over a week into this month. You have 4 weeks in every month, or 4.5 in some months. So this month you've got lots of opportunity to be able to put it together. But I know what you're saying to yourself. Like, Bill, it's the calendar coming around. It's the cycle of the year. It's going to be Black Friday and then Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, we'll be going into the holiday season and shopping. And the only people that need to buy a car are the ones that absolutely have to buy a car. Well, maybe if that's your plan, that you're just waiting for those ones that have to buy a car, then pray for snow. Snowstorms are an absolutely magnificent thing to help you sell automobiles. Today, we're expecting freezing rain. Pray for freezing rain if that is your plan. But you see, that's traffic. You are now trying to attract traffic to you to fill your pipeline with people that you don't control because you can't control the weather. You've got to wait for the weather, for Mother Nature, to dump that terrible weather on us, and those individuals who must be out driving around that didn't put their winter tires on yet, and unfortunately happen to find themselves in that melee of an accident, a collision. That's not exactly a sound strategy for any kind of business development and business going forward. And there's no way that you can create predictable, consistent income and sell a predictable, consistent 10, 20, and 30 automobiles per month, hoping that the weather cooperates. Because what do you do when it turns around in the springtime? I'm sorry to giggle and laugh about it, but I mean, really, there are a lot of average, ordinary salespeople out there just waiting for things to turn around, waiting for the economy to turn around, waiting for the weather to change, waiting for the season to change, waiting for the day to end, the week to be gone, the month to be over, and hopefully the next month, for whatever reason, is a whole lot better. It hasn't been any different for 100 years, and the inventory shortage that is behind us didn't change things either. All that happened there is that we really believe scarcity and urgency is the reason why our shoppers should buy right now, and anybody shopping clearly knows that there is no deal on the automobile, there is not a whole lot of selection, and what they do buy, maybe I just heard a story yesterday. I heard this story. One individual purchased a 6-figure pickup truck Now, I'm hearing this from the customer. I'm not hearing this from you, the sales team. I'm hearing this from the customer. Picked up a six-figure, obviously luxury truck, the one of their dreams that they tow their horses around with. And in this six-figure luxury pickup truck, the heated steering wheel and the heated seats do not work of this brand new automobile because it does not have the chip. The chip is on its way. The chip shortage should be rectified, everybody is telling us, by the end of this year. But if you're one of those that wait for that to be fixed and happened, and once the stars align, then you'll be able to achieve your goals. I got news for you, my friends. You're going to struggle. So what I want to share with you is my worksheet on how to leverage a plan. And I mean leverage a plan. Like you pull levers to make things work, right? Think of a tow truck driver pulling those levers to make the hydraulics tilt the bed or launch the bed or pick the forks up and take your vehicle away. And I mean, it doesn't even have to have happened to you. You know what I mean. You can see that happening. That's what I mean by get leverage on yourself, meaning it's structured in your favor. If the tow truck driver had to actually tilt that aluminum bed in order to put a vehicle on it and then tilt it back up again, well, he'd better look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in order to be able to do so, right? Anyhow, or The Rock. Let's carry on. What I have here behind me, I'm just noticing the light isn't great. Light's really shiny. I hope everybody can see that. What we have is there we go. That's a lot better. There we are. So what we have here is a worksheet. And this worksheet is perfectly delineated. And you can do this for yourself. And of course, if you really want to have the worksheet, drop a comment below. Don't just sit there and passively watch me talk about it. I hope I'm infotaining you, right? I'm delivering lots of information, lots of value, and it's really entertaining. But at the same time, I hope you're really looking at this same bill. I also want to learn something out of it too. So drop a comment below that you want the blueprint. Type in the comments. Blueprint. I will send it to you. It won't cost you anything. There's nothing to buy. I'm not pitching you during this live. I just want to show you what you can do right now today to achieve 30 cars this month in November, because it is easily doable. So what we have in the first box over here, right here, sorry I'm stepping out of the camera for a moment, but I really want you to see this, is the walk-ins. Now, we have no idea how many people are going to walk into the dealership. That's traffic that you don't control. That's traffic that is generated by the advertising your OE does and your manufacturer does. And that's fantastic. But at the same time, you don't control that. If you drive into the dealership every single day hoping that the up bus is going to stop in, we've talked about that, it ain't going to happen, my friends. It doesn't exist anymore. So, walk-in traffic is volatile traffic that you don't control. The second category is phone-in. Now, phone-in is traffic, or e-leads are traffic that you don't control. You certainly hope the manufacturer's running a great advertisement. You certainly hope your dealer is running a fantastic advertisement. But at the end of the day, again, if the phone isn't ringing and the doors aren't swinging, then how are you ever going to sell 30 cars a month? So this is where it really kicks in. If you've been in the business for 6 months or more, and if you feel like you're competing with the seasoned veteran colleagues that are around you, if you don't believe that every shopper is a buyer, and you don't believe that you're getting the support you desperately need in order to be able to sell 30 cars a month, then I'm going to let you in on a little wee tiny secret. Number one, you can join the manifesto. Request the manifesto by typing in manifesto. Leave a comment for me there, and I will schedule time with you, or I will send you the information, whatever you're looking for. But we'll get together and we'll connect and have a conversation. Second part of the equation is in the manifesto, you will learn that in the prospect harvesting pipeline, you don't now rely on just traffic that you don't control. You actually have a pipeline of shoppers that you do control. And this becomes your repeat customers. If you've been in the business 6 months or more and you have sold 8 automobiles, you can sell 30 as a result of those 8 by simply getting the second car in their driveway. Now, let's put that in perspective then. You've sold 8 automobiles, and I'm saying you can sell 16 as a result of that. But let me dummy it right down. Let me give you the worst case scenario. Selling 8 automobiles, being in the business for, let's say, 30 days. Make this difficult for me. Don't make this easy. You didn't come here just to listen to a talking head, I'm sure. You really want to get this information. So, you sold 8 automobiles. You've been in the business for 30 days. And you can sell, of those 8, 50%, 48% is the official statistic from the Automobile Dealers Association and the Automotive Business School of Canada. 50% of those people have a family member who will purchase as a result of the purchase this individual just made. Well, if we just took the family member, the closest relative being a spouse, brother, or sister, let's assume they're living in the same household. 50% of them will purchase within the next 6 months. Don't make this easy for me. I'm not going to say, okay, 4 of them. I'm not going to put 4 in this box. I'm going to work this backwards, okay? So we're going to talk about the sales that we're going to make before we worry about how many people that we have to talk to. So that's our middle line right here. I'm going to say you can get 2 sales as a result of repeat purchases. You can get the spouse's vehicle in the driveway. You can get their children's vehicle. You can get their dad or their mom or their brother or their sister-in-law, brother-in-law. The list goes on and on. And those aren't necessarily referrals because the statistic, look, the math doesn't lie. 50% will purchase as a result of their family member who has already made that decision. Now, every single one. I may date myself for a moment here, but for those of you that remember the Fabergé commercials, going back to childhood days, give me an emoji or a smiley face or a thumbs up or an explosion on that one. The Fabergé commercials that would say, tell 2 friends who tell 2 friends who tell 2 friends. Remember, the screen would quadruple and exponentially grow and grow and grow until there were little tiny tiles all over the screen. And what they were talking about was one person loves the hair shampoo feeling so much that they can't help but tell everybody else. They think it's amazing, it's wonderful, it's terrific. So what do? They tell 2 friends who tell 2 friends, and the list goes on and on. Well, you had that opportunity with 8 shoppers that have told 2 people how excited they are about their automobile. I'm not talking about going to them and asking, hey, do you know anybody who would like to buy a car? I build my business 1 customer at a time. That's a tactic. You can use that as a talk track. I build my business 1 customer at a time. If you know someone that really likes your car, here's the secret tactic. If you know someone, even better, they don't know someone, the conditioned response is no. They can feel and hear that request for a referral coming. So do it differently. Reverse engineer it. Come at them from the backside. And you say this. Who, in your travels, at work, at home, in the driveway, with friends, who has said, that's a really nice automobile? They know full well that you just bought a new truck, a new SUV, a new car. But they say, that's a really nice automobile. Wow, good for you. That's fantastic. Who in your travels has said that? Can you think of their name? Just their first name. Of course they can. It's a coworker. It's a neighbor. It's a friend. It could be somebody, a stranger in a parking lot. So that's why you tuck a bunch of cards in the owner's wallet of the vehicle when you put it in, so that if somebody said, hey, where'd you get it? Who'd you get it from? They can go, I know, I got his card right here. And they pull, or they got her card. They pull the card out and hand it to him. So with referrals, there's 16 people that we can go after. Just 16 as prospects. Now, out of those 16, let's just run with an average ordinary closing ratio of 1 in 5. You can get 2 deals right there instantly and quickly at less than 20% closing ratio. So right now we're at half this month not having anybody walk into the showroom or call in or email in. Now, that doesn't stop there. What are you doing all day long? If you're sitting on your anatomy and you're literally twiddling your thumbs thinking, there's got to be a better job out there. There's got to be another life out there. There's got to be something else. Stop! Don't worry about it. First of all, don't start with those lofty goals of 10, 20, and 30 per month without a plan. That's what we're talking about here. In order for us to get to 30, I'm showing you how you can get at least to 10, at least to 20 this month, because your network, while you're sitting there wondering what to do, your network is ripe and ready to purchase an automobile. They've been waiting for the pandemic to end. They've been waiting for the inventory shortage to be over. They've been waiting for us to come off of MSRP. They have been waiting for us not to charge over MSRP. You give them a ring and you say, hey, now is a magnificent time to purchase because, well, at Dodge, Jeep, and Chrysler, they've already shown discounts. And at Ford, you can get 0% on F-150. And at Chevrolet, they're coming down as well, not to mention Toyota and Mazda and Honda and Nissan, because inventories are starting to build. Now, your particular region, your particular dealership, like our Toyota dealership close by, is doing an incredible job of just selling orders. They don't have any inventory on the ground. May not be quite as flexible on price, but the point is they are doing an incredible job figuring out how to sell their allotment. Continue to do the very same thing for yourself, but you reach out to your network this time of the year because you've got time, and you don't call everybody and say, hey, you want to buy a car? That's your commission breath, and that stinks. Don't do that, but have a conversation. Reach out to friends. Reach out to colleagues that you haven't talked to in a long time and just start a conversation. And they're naturally going to ask you, what are you doing? How's business? How's the car industry? And make sure you have all the positives that go around that. And then you can suggest, hey, look, if you ever thinking about doing so, one thing is happening as inflation just does not seem to be settling down, as we well know with the economists and the Feds raising interest rates in order to help to try and control inflation. Now is a great time to purchase because interest rates just seem to be going up as much as we would like to see them go down. And of course, they're going to have all the excuses in the world that the economy isn't good and now's not the best time or their vehicle's running well. You need to have an answer to each one of those. So that aside, because that's another workshop, let's say you can get 4 deals from your own network. 4 deals, because you only need to talk to 5 people to get 4 deals. You know why? Because those deals close at 80%. Even if you're average and ordinary, even if you aren't doing better than a 1 in 5 or even a 1 in 10 closing ratio, when you reach out to friends, family, and relatives, the people that really know, like, and trust you already, they buy instantly. If they can't, they say, I have no money, just went through a divorce, everything is being separated, lost my job, things are terrible. Bill, I'd love to come in and purchase an automobile from you. It would probably make me feel really great and it would probably find me that next fantastic job that I'd really like to have, but there is nothing. Like, it's done. I'm over. I will call you. I'll come and see you. You say, hey, no problem at all. If you need an inexpensive car, reach out to me. I understand that. I know what you're going through. I haven't been through it myself, but I can only imagine. So let me help you. Now, we've sold 8 vehicles, but here's our plan. It doesn't matter that we just picked to sell 8. We need to know how many people we need to talk to. So at a 1 in 5 closing ratio, right, at a 20% closing ratio, that means we need to speak to 5 people to sell 1. So in this particular case, we multiply the 2 times 5, and you now need to reach out to only 10 people of your 16, right, that will repeat purchase from you, because half of them will purchase within the next 6 months. You're reaching out to all 8, right? And getting another one, their brother and sister. You need to speak to 10 people to get a referral. You need to speak to 20 friends. If you don't have 20 friends that you can call, 20 colleagues that you can call, and let me break it out for you. Like, we're talking about 4 neighbors. We're talking about 5 best friends. Now we're at 9. We're talking about 6 colleagues at work. We're talking now 15. And we're talking about 5 sort of colleagues, kind of associates, people you don't talk to a whole lot. That's how you arrive at 20. You see why your goals are the problem? When you don't have a plan like this to be able to accomplish just 8, then how on earth, or why on earth, would you put so much emphasis, like selling 4 from the showroom, right, this month, which I don't think is very difficult to do, especially if you haven't even been doing double digits up to this point. And you could double these figures, quadruple these figures. If your expectation for yourself is 25 units per month, and you've been averaging 25 units per month, and now this is November, then you may be thinking you're only going to sell 8 this month. You're only going to sell 10 from walk-in. Now, we haven't even done the e-leads and phone in. As much as the phone isn't ringing and the doors aren't swinging and the email isn't chiming as much, the bottom line is you can't sell 4 from e-leads. Now, this is the reason why you're only selling 8 a month, because you're putting all your emphasis on traffic that you don't control. Where when you look at traffic that you do control, you can supplement, augment, gravy on the turkey, on the potatoes, on the peas, on the corn. You can really make life fantastic for yourself going into Thanksgiving this month by simply doing what every other salesperson should be doing what every high-performance salesperson does naturally. This is the stuff that you go, and the reason, Bill, I can't sell at that level is because I just started. Or the reason, Bill, I can't get to 30 cars per month is that I haven't been at it for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Bill, the reason that I can't sell 30 a month is that I don't know everybody in town. I didn't grow up here in town. I moved here with my spouse, with my girlfriend, with my parents, and I'm starting over. Bill, the reason that I can't sell that many is because our region is different. We're in a suburb. We're in an outlying area. We're in a rural marketplace. Those are just excuses, right? Excuses are, well, they're like anatomy on us, right? Everybody has one. The bottom line is, drop the excuses, pick up the phone, craft an email sequence, go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what are customers looking for with respect to shopping for an automobile? Where are they shopping for their automobile? And what would I say in an email to reach out to them? What would I say in social media to reach out to them? This is how you get these 8 that are over here. And I've got a whole piece on that in Prospect Harvesting Pipeline. I call it harvesting because we don't rely on traffic that we do not control. Over here, walk-in and phone-in and e-leads and virtual leads. I focus on the stuff that I can control because that is traffic that will create predictable, consistent sales and income, getting me to that 6-figure mark where I always want to be. And not to mention that, when I say will, it did. I don't share anything with you that I haven't done personally. I don't still do in my independent automobile dealerships to this day. This is the stuff that I taught my guys to do in my franchise automobile dealership that I used to own. This is so easy and doable. You will get to a point, just like your high performer does in your current store right now, that these leads here, these walk-ins, these phone-ins are a pain in your derriere. You don't even want to talk to them. I walk into some retailers that are great clients that have become friends, both the dealer and the sales team, and I see these seasoned veterans of 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and they're rolling their eyes and they're talking to me and they're turning their back so that they don't have to see a customer that has walked in the showroom. And I'm like, hey, look, it's just me. You drop me, you go look after them. They go, I don't want to. And moments later, they're high-fiving them, they're smiling, they're laughing, they've sold them an automobile. I'm like, oh, now why wouldn't you want to talk to them? They say, because I've got so much work to do with following up, with just planning next month, with creating my email sequence, with balancing my portfolio with lease, finance, and cash purchases. This is what seasoned veterans do so well. They figured out, and probably were taught at some point along those lines, and now they've systematized their success so that they just do it every single day over and over, that they do not want to talk to these walk-ins and these phone-ins. And I giggle because I'm like, holy smokes, it's an opportunity. Some other people, imagine in your dealership, if you're struggling to see people right now, imagine if somebody walked in, like when the phone rings, this is a mad dash for everybody. You grab the receiver and pick it up because There's that few number of calls coming in? I'll bet it is. I know it is. I'm hearing it all over the place. So with respect to your goals, it's fantastic to set your goals. But make sure when you do so that you look at how many people you have to talk to. And then I didn't even fill in the top box here. The top box is how much money you make. So just before I end this right now, let's go through and see how much money that we could make as a result of getting all of these. And make it hard for me, okay? The over MSRP, the at MSRP, the close to selling at MSRP, correct me if I'm wrong, is ending. I didn't say it's over, it's done. Certainly with certain product lines and short inventory shortages, yeah, there's still a possibility that you can get over MSRP, you can get at MSRP, but the reality is, and it's kicking in fast, and customers are feeling it, knowing it, hearing it, and this is why our negotiation and our closing tactics need to change. They're familiar. They know what we're going to say even before we say it. So you need to follow the closing apparition, and that is down below. That'll be 2 videos back. Make sure you figure out how closing is changing, and more importantly, how to negotiate in today's day and world, because the customer is intelligent and wise. So forget all that aside. Let's talk about how much money we've made. So we're reverse engineering. We're working our way up. We figured out how many automobiles our plan is going to take to get to the number where we want to be. We figured out how many people we need to talk to. And of course, we've got 20 and 20. So hopefully you'll have at least 20 leads walk in. You'll have 20 phone calls or emails come in. You know, when you think about it, it's less than 2 a day. So when you say, Bill, there's no way I'm not going to get 20 leads this month, make sure you are ready. Make sure you're not sitting in your office and you're doing your social media, which has nothing to do with selling automobiles. Make sure your profile says top-notch automobile salesperson in your particular brand, Ram, Silverado, F-150, Frontier, Tundra, whatever the case is, Ridgeline. Make sure you've got that there so that when people are creeping you or they're looking for you, and of course social media is the best form of SEO out there. If you've got those keywords and hashtags in there, you're going to rise to the top of the list and be top of mind. Now let's talk about how much money we're going to make. So when we sell 4 cars, and let's say, and I know your commissions are a whole lot better than this, but let's just go with a conservative, can I call it that, commission structure, $500 on average, $500 per unit. If you're rolling your eyes like, Bill, I do way better than that. Like, I crushed it. Great. Then plug in your own numbers here. If you want this worksheet, drop a comment below, blueprint. I will send it to you, and you can fill in your real numbers. So now, working backwards at $500, 500 times 4, we're going to make $2K on those walkarounds. We're going to make $2K on the virtual leads. We're going to make $1K on our repeat purchases. Pardon me. We're going to make $1K on our referrals, and we're going to make $2K on our networking. Let's add it all up. 2, 4, 6, 8K in November. If at the very minimum you are expecting of yourself to make $8,000 income, which after tax is not what you're getting in your pocket. If you're not expecting that of yourself, then you're not really helping a lot of shoppers purchase an automobile, are you? You might be a good sales assistant for somebody else that is helping shoppers get to that, because you must believe that every shopper is a buyer, regardless of where you are. Anybody, everywhere, at any time, will trade their automobile for faster, shiny, technologically advanced, of the latest and greatest fuel economy that you can factor into your negotiation. I talk about that, so scroll down to that other video and have a look at that. Go to my YouTube channel and have a look at where I fully delineate how they can factor it. Well, it's the old payment versus new payment, and then factor in what they save on fuel economy into the new bi-weekly, which nobody is doing. You know, we deliver up bi-weekly payments and we expect the customer to go, oh, okay, that's amazing. And customers don't do that. You know it as well as I do. Customers go, whoa, man, alive. That's 3 times what I'm paying right now. Yeah, hyperinflation has really got a hold of us, and it is choking the car business. But If you need an automobile, I can make it affordable. And there's a whole bunch of other ways to do it, and I don't have time for that. But the bottom line is, here is a way, 8K, where you sell 4, 8, 12, 16 automobiles. This month, November, you can do it. I know you can do it. And if you can't, then put in a comment below. Manifesto. I will reach out to you, share with you the 3 phases and our 9 steps of our perfectly delineated, proven system to get you to these numbers. Not a training program where we just talk about talk tracks and tricky angles. A system that you follow over and over again to do your social media, to do your emails, so that you have a consistent, aggressive follow-up strategy for 80% of your unsold traffic to convert into 40% sold traffic. It's so much more. The manifesto is so much more than just a training program. You've got classes every single week. Tomorrow, Thursday, every single Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning, we have a 1-hour class with a Q&A for however long it takes to answer everybody's questions afterwards. And then you have me, one-on-one. You just jump on my calendar, you book a time, and you can tell me what is happening with respect to your job and how much money you're not making in order to be able to get there. And this is actually the first thing that I'll start with. Say, share with me what you think you can sell this month. And then tell me what your plan is to do so. So I really hope you enjoyed this today. My name is Bill Harvey with the Auto Sales Academy. My eyes keep going back and forth because I'm on 2 phones. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook at the very same time. Just about to add a 3rd phone, which will be for LinkedIn. Whoever wants to follow me on whatever platform version you want. This session has been recorded as well, and it'll be available on our YouTube channel. So look for that as well. I'll send out an email reminder bringing everybody back to the group that didn't get a chance to watch it. And hey, a high tide raises all ships. So do this, if you would kindly. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues around you, tell anybody else that is struggling as well, or doesn't feel like they're getting the support that they need, or feels like they're competing with the seasoned veterans for these walk-ins and these phone-ins. Tell anybody who doesn't believe that every shopper is a buyer about this private members Facebook group, because it's only for automobile retail people. Okay, I don't take anybody that is not working in or working at an automobile dealership. I'm sorry about that. If you pass it on to somebody that we had a lovely little old grandma the other day asked to be a member of the group, so I'm very sorry about that. The secrets that we're sharing here all together must stay with us. Please don't post your automobiles that are for sale on your lot. The rest of us don't need to know that unless you want to wholesale it for an absolutely amazing, rock bottom, super fantastic price, which in this day and age, especially finding used product, is not going to happen. So please do that. Just make sure you don't post, and of course, all posts must be approved. So if you don't see your posts getting approved, it's because it's not following within the guidelines of the group. But guidelines of the group are really quite simple. Ask a question, and then everybody can help with their tactics and their talk tracks and their strategy. This is a community of high performers. So let's really raise that bar. I'd like to see 10 people joining per day. There's 7,000, in excess of 7,000 salespeople in the United States, and about 2,000, 2,800 in Canada. We can definitely blow this group up. And just imagine sharing those tips and tactics that work in California and work in Ontario, Canada. And vice versa, East Coast, West Coast, North, South. Anyhow, I'm babbling. If you want to know more about the manifesto and how you can sell 30 cars every single month with predictable consistency, reach out to me and type in manifesto. We'll book a call and you guys can, the 2 of us can get on the line. And I field all the calls, okay? Nobody from my team is taking that. I'm the guy doing it. I field all the comments in social media. Nobody from my team is taking that, okay? The team looks after the marketing and advertising. I look after the training. And of course, if you want this worksheet so that you can have better goals that aren't demoralizing, demeaning, and holding you back, because it's the plan that generates the goal, right? Then type in below blueprint. and I will send the blueprint to you. Have a fantastic day, magnificent week, an incredible weekend, and don't take no for an answer. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye for now.